I did want to get into Bobi Klintman. I don't really know if too many people knew that he actually kind of got cleared. He's been playing with the Motor City Crew. So I want to ask you, obviously we saw him a lot in the summer league, and I felt like he was kind of the talk of summer league. Do you believe if he comes in and Simone Fontecchio maybe isn't being as productive as we thought he would going into this season, could Bobi possibly take some minutes from Simone?
I think so, definitely. And I do think Simone was actually really solid in yesterday's game, but he this season hasn't been where I think a lot of us expected. Um, and I mean the skill set Bobby brings fits kind of what the Pistons are lacking, especially with the playmaking. Defensively, I'm not sure how much Bobby helps, but his passing and what we saw at Summer League, like I worked for the NBL that whole season he was there. I did so many of his games. I knew he could score. I knew he had a nice jumper. I had no idea he could pass like that. Like truly. Like I was like watching those passes, I was like, what the hell where does this come from? Because he he's so good at making passes in tight. Like he was doing like no look kind of behind the head passes. Like I was like, who is this guy? And then he was hitting threes. So um like I could definitely see, especially if like Tobias is injured, who I feel like Tobias at this stage of his career is going to miss more games. Like there's definitely opportunity for Bobby to get minutes. And if he plays well in those moments, definitely take minutes from Tech. Um, so yeah, I'm really excited to get to the point where he's fully healthy. He's through this Motor City Cruise kind of ramp up, because I think he's got some skills that can really help this team.
Yeah, same here. Like to your point, I didn't really know he had dimes like that. And anytime like a player gets drafted, usually have family members reach out, which I had the privilege of actually interviewing his old coach in Sweden.
That was
And
awesome, by the way.
he told me that Bobby was a point guard, and I guess that's where the handles come from. That's where the passing comes from. But he had a huge growth spurt, and he's kind of like a point forward now. Like some of those dimes that he had in the summer league was like crazy. I know exactly what you're talking about. It was like a behind the head
Yeah.
pass, and there was like someone in the corner for three, and then he like repositioned himself at the top of the key, and he almost made like a 3-pointer. I was like, dude, what the actual f? Like, where the hell did this kid come from? But um, I think I've kind of gone back and forth with him. In the NBA, I think he would probably be more of a power forward, maybe a stretch four. I feel like Tobias is like a really good vet for him to learn under, and obviously he's been playing with the Crews, which I expect him to get called up eventually. I don't really know what the timetable is for him in terms of just like rehabbing with the Crews, and if JB thinks he's ready. I know he had a quote a couple days ago saying like it might take him couple more times playing with the Crews to kind of get in game shape, because he hasn't really played like basketball like that since the summer league. But I think a lot of fans are really excited to see what he could bring possibly. And I see a lot of people talking about like Michael Porter Jr. Like you might have a Michael Porter Jr. in Bobi Klintman. You never really know. Like he already has that 3-point shot.
Yeah, no, like I'm so excited. Like the passing for me is like that's kind of the skill set that's going to um elevate him as a player. But I'm so excited to see how his 3-point shot looks. Just off the bat, like whenever he's back, whenever he's checking in for the first time, if that shot's falling immediately, like now we're cooking, because the passing I think will definitely come, and there's a time for that. But I'm with you. He to me is he's a true four-man. Like I think he's probably just a little bit slows, maybe a bit harsh. I'm not sure how I'd feel with him guarding like athletic threes, but I think he actually did an interview with Kevin O'Connor pre-draft and said Tobias is a player he molds his game after. So I mean, perfect situation for him to learn. But I definitely agree with you that he's kind of a stretch four, true four man.
Yeah, I mean, having a guy like that can, facilitate, pass, defend a little bit. I think the only thing with him that I was kind of like nitpicking is like the only weakness he has isn't really part of his game. It's just weight. I think if once he adds more
Yeah.
weight, he's going to be a really, really good player because it seemed like in the summer league he wasn't like really avoiding contact, but you could tell like he definitely needs to get in the weight room, which I think he will. But he's just a really sound, smart basketball player. Never really saw him make too many mistakes in the summer league, and even like the G League games that I did go back and watch with their showcase down in Orlando right now. He looked like he was just making the right reads. Had a play where he broke a Grand Rapids
Yeah.
Gold guy's ankle. I was like, holy crap, they were not ready for that. But really excited to see what he can bring with the Detroit Pistons.